Hi. Today we are going to talk about sitting for beginners. Sitting is not hard, and sometimes it's very hard. The main thing when you start to talk about sitting to beginners is that they think it will be hard and they have to sit for 30 minutes the first time and all that. And you have to get them into a position where they understand that it is not so difficult once you get around to it and you get used to it, and that you don't have to do the whole 9 yards directly, then that it is okay to adjust it to yourself and to your limitations. So basically what I usually do when I talk to beginners is that I show them how to sit properly by correcting them and setting them up after a bit of talking. When they come to the sitting group we have in the nearby town, we usually have the safus, and this is a safu. It is a pillow that you sit on, and you don't sit on it flat. You sit on it a bit slanted. Many people I see sit on it flat today, and they even sit on top of it and in the middle. And you don't sit on the middle. You sit on it to the side of the middle, and with a bit slanted. And the way how much you slant it is dependent on you and on the situation and so forth. And after a while, you get to used to how it should feel when it is correct positioned. The other thing we have is a seiza bench. It's like this. You usually sit on it while sitting in a seiza position. You can also sit in a chair. That is perfectly fine too. I spoke about positions. The main positions we sit in is seiza, that is when you have your legs folded underneath you, like in a straight line. Then you have the half Burmese, that is when you sit on your bum more or less and have one leg on top of the other. Usually it's one over, yeah, it's the, yeah. And then that is the half lotus. And on the full lotus you have both legs up, and they are all good, and they are all for different persons, different strokes for different persons, I would say. I have people that I can at age above 65 that can sit full lotus, and I have people that are age 25 that can't even sit half lotus. So it's up to each person to do that. The important thing is that you sit in a more or less correct position. And a correct position is not a position where you sit like a erect spike. You don't sit straight. I mean, you have a curved line in your back, so it's perfectly fine to follow your curvature of the back. And also to find your own comfortable position. Many people say that you should sit like a block and a stone and press it if you can't really sit up. But no, that is not the correct way. That is to go to an extreme, which is not what we teach here. So, but in the beginning you should think about having more or less an erect and open position. Open because you are going to learn how to breathe later on too. Yeah, and the shoulders is also an important thing. Many people think or get in the beginning their shoulders up. They don't relax in the shoulders. They don't relax in the neck or the throat either. So they get a kind of stiffened position. You don't really notice that, but I'll tell you about it now. And then, once you get corrected a couple of times, you'll learn to loosen yourself. I'm also mostly telling you this because you don't get scared when you come here and go away from the sittings and you have exercise. You feel bad in the shoulders from the exercise that you've just sat, which is quite excruciating and quite heavy work if you sit for like 30 minutes and don't do this. But I'm talking too much. So yes. Next after shoulders is the breath. The breath should not be constricted. You shouldn't do like or something like that. You just have to breathe normally. This is like everything else. Just sit there and breathe. And one of the exercises you can do if you want is count your breath. 1 for in-breath and 2 for the out-breath, 3, 4, 5, 6. This also calms the mind. It settles your body and calms your mind, because mind and body are not two in this. They are connected in more ways than we can imagine. So when you have a calm breath, you get a calm body, you get a calm mind. So, counting the breath is one way. Another way is counting 1 to 10. By saying 1001, 1002, 1003, and so forth. That is also a bit of a good exercise to do once you get an monkey mind, we can call it in our Zen tradition. A mind that races, get all kinds of thoughts, because suddenly you're not doing anything, you're just sitting there, and then you have to do something, so your mind starts to race and gives you thoughts. And what you do with those thoughts is not to follow them. Just say, oh, there's a thought, and yeah, oh, there's a thought, and you don't go, oh, that's a thought, and yeah, and go on with that thought. You see, oh, that's a thought, and then you let it go. And yeah, it's not as easy as I just said, but yeah, that's a way to do it. So, but the main thing is, no matter how you sit, or where you sit, or how long you sit, the main thing is that you sit. And you do it with a good intention. That is to sit. And you kind of relax your body, your mind, everything. And let everything sort of flow or just go. Take it easy. This is not a competition. So, that's about it. Thank you.